Hello, I am Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is decorating the tree in 2024. So it was time to get our tree decorated. And I'm a short person, so trying to do this is a little difficult, but I made it work with a lot of throwing and just sheer dumb luck. So first thing I had to do was get my lights on the tree. And as I was going around doing this, I was realizing some branches were not fully pushed down and stuff like this. Usually I would do this the day after Thanksgiving, but there was a lot of stuff going on that day, so I did not get the time. So this was probably a week later, just trying to get this done and completed. Originally, I wanted to be making some new ornaments in this video, but instead of making a new ornament, my husband bought me a new ornament and I ended up buying him one as well. And it works. Here I was realizing the tree was not rotated enough for me to be able to plug in my lights. So I took matters into my own hands and started turning the tree so that way the lights could get plugged in at some point here, which meant I had to adjust how the lights were in some spots because they were up too high for a certain area here. So I did a quick lowering of them just so that way they weren't up very, very high and more of the tree was covered. And I did have to ask for help because we have a switch that we use for our decorations that I don't usually set up, my husband does. So I was asking him to come make sure it was all good to go, all set up. And while I was waiting, I decided I'm gonna grab some of these like translucent beads that I have that I usually put along our lights to help make them sparkle more. Figured I would do that while I was waiting for him. And that is kind of what was happening here, because I also grabbed the garland, but I didn't want to put that up until I had the lights working, or until the lights were actually getting plugged in, so that way I didn't have to take off lights, redo lights, and all that fun. So, did the same thing as I did with the lights. I just threw them around the tree, hoping I was able to reach them. But we don't get new decorations every year. I try to reuse stuff as much as I can until it is basically falling apart or breaking to the point where it's unfixable. And that's where I used some decorations as long as I can. Like for these little beads that I put on, they should last a little bit longer, but it'll take some time. But at this point, my husband comes in to make sure the tree will light up and everything, because we need to make sure our little switch is working. So, of course, technology being technology, it needs to update. And that's fine. That happens. It's understandable when it happens, so. He's busy taking care of that while I am trying to figure out, alright, what's next? So he had to double check and actually press the power button on the switch to turn them on. And since they were working, I didn't really have to worry a whole lot at this point about, oh, are they going to work yet or not? It meant that I could actually continue decorating. So now was time to put on the garland. And I went and did my tried and true method of throw it around the tree and hope for the best. And I didn't have to worry about that going all the way back around because just a couple times was enough. But now it was time for our ornaments to start being put on here. So I had to put his new one on first. I had to find a spot where it wasn't too heavy because it was a little bit of a heavier ornament. It was a lot of just thinking, where do I want our little ornaments to actually sit? But besides our 4 colorful ornaments, I put on 5 ornaments that I have made in the past that have some meanings for us, just so that way we have some of our memories on our tree every year. This year there wasn't as many things to put on because we didn't want to overwhelm the tree with decorations. It just didn't feel right this year. And I almost forgot to put our bow on top. So the bow was actually from a Christmas present we had gotten a few years ago, and we reuse it as our tree topper because why not? It works. Yes, it's a different color, but it works well enough. Our tree isn't a perfect one, but it works for us because it is just the 2 of us. And it fits. Also, this was a new spot for us to put it to see how it does here and if this is a good spot for it or not, which we won't know until Christmas time. The best part of it, though, is how it looks in the dark. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye.